This video explains how to create a ggplot2 bar plot with round corners using the R programming language. So without much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this video I will show you an example, and for this example we first need to create a data frame, as you can see in lines 2 to 3 of the code. So after running these lines of code, a new data set called data1 is appearing at the top right. And if you click on this data set, a new window is opened which is showing the structure of our data frame. And as you can see, our data frame contains 4 rows and the 2 columns value and group, whereby the column value contains numeric values and the column group is our group indicator. Now let's assume that we want to draw these data using the ggplot2 package. Then we also need to install and load the package, as you can see in lines 5 and 6 of the code. I have installed the package already, so for that reason I'm just going to load it with line 6. And after running this line of code, we are able to use the functions of the ggplot2 package, such as ggplot and geomcall, as you can see in lines 8 and 9 of the code. So after running these lines of code, a new bar plot is appearing at the bottom right. However, you can see at this point the bars do not have round corners yet. Now let's assume that we want to show this bar plot with round corners. Then we also need to install and load the ggchicklet package, as you can see in lines 11 and 12. I have installed this package as well, so for that reason I'm just going to load it with line 12 of the code. And after running this line of code, we can use the ggchicklet function of the ggchicklet package. So in lines 14 and 15 of the code, I'm once again creating a bar plot, however this time with round corners, and the radius argument within the ggchicklet function determines how round the corners should be. So if you run lines 14 and 15 of the code, you can see at the bottom right that our bar plot is updated, and this time the corners of the bars are shown with a round shape. Now this functionality gets especially useful when we draw stacked bar plots, and for that reason I want to show you another example in which I'm drawing a stacked bar plot with round corners. And for this we first need to create another example data frame, as you can see in lines 17 to 19 of the code. So after running these lines of code, another data set called data2 is appearing at the top right. And if you click on this data set, a new window is opened which is showing the structure of our second example data frame. And as you can see, this data frame contains 12 rows and 3 columns. The first and second columns contain values and groups, as in our first data frame. However, this time we also have a subgroup indicator. Now, if we want to draw these data in a stacked bar plot, we can once again use the ggchicklet function. However, this time we also need to specify the fill argument to be equal to our subgroup indicator. So after running lines 21 and 22 of the code, you can see that another bar plot is appearing at the bottom right. This time we have drawn a stacked bar plot, and as you can see, each of the bars in our stacked bar plot has round corners, and this can be used to visualize the cutoff points between the subgroups in a better way. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.